Okay, it's a pleasure to introduce my next guest. I met him long before I met Ultima Studios, but however, he manages Ultima Studios. But my first interaction with him was as a father, as a parent in a school to which I was invited because he, as the the PTA chairman, had come up with the idea of having fathers and sons band. So now you know, as we're talking Father's Day, it just had to be Tunji Adebaki. Welcome, Tunji, on set again.
You know, this is the first time I'm here.
Yeah. So what's it like to be on the other side?
All of these days and years.
You know, but the same excellence, obviously, why did I invite you? The same excellence that you put into trying to get Ultima to do right, it appears you put it also in raising your kids, boys and girls.
Definitely. I think I was lucky. Right from before I got married, I always wanted to be a great father. So I started bathing my kids when they were small, as in really small. Afraid.
Even your daughter?
Everybody. Well, I only have 3, so I definitely wasn't going to leave her out. Yeah. And up until when they were 10, we used to take our baths together.
So what was those bath times like? Were you teaching them things? Were you, you know?
All sorts of things. It basically enabled me to talk to my kids, to find out what they were doing, what they were doing in school. I used to teach my son the scriptures.
Which of them, the first or the second?
First song.
Okay.
Well, actually all of them. But I mean, there's still this song in my head that we still sing. And I taught him in the bathroom.
Yes.
So it's really...
What's that song?
You want me to sing it?
Absolutely.
I have a fantastic voice, so you need to pardon that.
Go ahead.
It's a scripture, it's Philippians 4:13. It says, really, really simple song, and it's just basically the scriptures.
I'll sing along.
Give me one second.
I'll sing along.
I'm gonna clear my throat because it's not good. It's not going to sound too nice.
No, go ahead.
I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so we'll sing it together. Because that, for me, was a way of teaching him the scriptures. But they had to be fun, because it was still pretty much.
What was your son experience like? That's you being a son. You know, and how did that help you determine, I want to be a great father?
I had plenty of challenges with being
a son
to my father, because he was kind of not there.
Is he dead now?
No, he's not. He's very much alive.
He's going to be watching this.
I hope so. I will tell him.
Okay.
No, but he wasn't totally there. But I'll tell you something. Because he wasn't there, I felt the need to struggle to succeed. And I did. And so I look back now, and even though I didn't quite like it then, I realized that if he was there, I probably would have turned out quite the kind of person that I am right now. So I'm very thankful to him, in quotes, for kind of toughening me up the way he did by kind of not being there.
That was his style?
Yes.
You chose a different style?
Yes.
So are you raising soft boys?
I don't think so. I found out that all our kids are different. Every single one. They're totally, absolutely unique. What works for one doesn't work for the second one and doesn't work for the third one. So we have 3 kids. My first is a sanguine. My second one is more a flag.
That's language. Sanguine is his...
Okay, so my first boy is creative. He's outgoing. He makes friends easily. He doesn't have any worries. Doesn't plan long term. My second one is a long term.
That can be worrisome for a father.
Oh, very much so.
That's your first son.
That's a challenge, but it's a good one. But I know, so that makes it easier. My plans for my second son are totally different because he's a long-range thinker, sets goals, achieves them, has a lot of determination. Guess what he wants? They're 2 totally different people, and I don't handle them the same way either. So I'm very clear about who they are. I'm very clear about what I need to do with each of them. So it's important as a father that you understand your children. I think that fathers are stewards, and so you have a responsibility to know what resources God has placed in your care, and of course to make the best use of it. So children really are meant for us to mold and to nurture.
So now my concern is the boys. Who should boys be modeling themselves after?
They really don't have an option. Between ages 1 to 10, it is a father, if the father is present.
Okay, so I must take a break. You know, that's the point at which I can take a break now and come back and have the conversation together. Okay. Thank you for engaging, and I thank you for the lovely song that you did too. And right now, for us to be able to take down real experiences, I'm going to get the 2 of them together in my panel section to discuss this, and you will learn a thing or two if you don't go away. Yes, the good thing about this section of the program is you can be part of this conversation very clearly by joining us on our social media handles, which I'm going to put on screen for you to see. And if you think otherwise from what Tunji or Praise thinks, please let me know. But now I want both of them to define for me what really is parenting in your perspective. You are the professional that teaches people, right? Mm-hmm.
Parenting, if you look at, I always love to process things from the etymological point of view to say, what's the source of this word? When was the first time it was used? Parenting is actually the word bring forth. It actually means someone who can bring forth the potential that is resident in a child and that can bring it to life in a way that becomes usable and it can influence other people's behavior.
So whether it's a father or a mother, if you're a parent, you are bringing forth.
Yes.
You agree with that, obviously?
Yeah, totally.
But how does it play out in reality?
My brother lives in the UK, says that parenting is a 21-year investment.
Who's the brother? Is he older or younger?
Younger.
Okay.
He says in the UK it's a 21-year investment. That's what parenting is as far as it's concerned. So you're paying fees.
Okay, you're spending money.
You're nurturing. No, but actually 21 years is really good time to nurture.
Yeah.
And I think parenting really is all about nurturing and understanding why God has placed us in a position where we can nurture
another being.
Yes, another generation, a completely different generation.
So that brings me to the question of fatherhood. So fatherhood, on the other hand, how different is that from motherhood?
I think it's totally different. Related, but I think totally different. I think a father is the envisioner of a home. He needs to say, this is where we're going. This is why we're going where we're going. These are our values. A father should be a leader. He definitely should be a leader. Mm-hmm. And if he knows where he's going, then he can take everybody with him, wife and children, and actually several other people too.
If he knows where he's going, do you agree? Because sometimes the father might be misled.
Well, for me,
he should be.
For me, the father is actually the word hab, which is the source, progenitor, someone who brings something.
He's the seed giver.
So I do not think personally, I do not think it's actually gender-centric, because...
What does that mean? You're speaking English.
Is, fatherhood is a role, right? So you can actually find a woman who will fulfill that role if she understands the context and the concept of that role, right? Because it's not everyone every child is going to have a male figure. So you give birth to a child and the father dies, what's going to happen? Are we going to say that child is not going to have fatherhood, right? So you need to understand that it's a source. So the question is, what source are you? Because you can be a source of pain, you can be a source of joy. That's why you find that in the Jewish context, they don't just use Hab, they use Ab of something, Ab plus something. So you have Abraham, which is a father of nations. Then you have Absalom, which is Ab plus Shalom, which is father of peace.
Okay.
Right? So you need to define who you are as a father, then we cannot benchmark what you're doing.
But the clear thing is you both agree that father is the leader. What you're saying now is that leadership is not necessarily genetic.
That's
right. Now let's talk about the genetic aspect of it. I gave 2 examples just a short while ago. Boys who decide to rape girls after school, or 2 little boys who find out that their father is actually a kidnapper. What kind of role modeling, who would they model their lives after?